Is find f comma g of x. What is the definition? How do I determine f comma g of x? F of g of x. Awesome. So I have f, I have to replace g by 4x squared plus x plus 9. And now I look at f. F says 1 minus whatever. 1 minus whatever. Yes. But I have to distribute a negative sign. So 1 minus 4x squared minus x minus 9. This becomes negative 4x squared minus x minus 8. Now we are asked to find f comma g of 2, which is negative 4 times 4 minus 2 minus 8. Negative 16, negative 18, negative 26. And the other one, g comma f of x. See, parentheses here, okay? So g of f of x. Now I have to replace f inside. So this is g of 1 minus x. But now this is slightly more difficult because g says 4 times whatever squared plus, I don't need parentheses here, and plus 9. Is this clear? So now I have 4, but I have to square that. What do I get when I square binomial? We shouldn't be thinking because we have an agreement signed a month and a half ago. Can anyone give us 1 minus x everything squared?
That's 1 minus 2x plus x squared.
So plus 10 minus x. So this is 4 minus 8x plus 4x squared plus 10 minus x. In descending order, 4x squared minus 9x plus 14. And now you have to find g comma f of 2 by just plugging in 2.
Yes.
Is this okay?
Yes. This one, I got it, but in the test, it got me wrong.
That's what I said. You have to email me. You have to tell me where exactly and which problem.
Yes, ma'am. You know why I'm so inquisitive about the question? The g of f of 2, he marked me for it, that I got it, and he said I missed the other one. And I know I got it. It's the
Right.
same thing.
I can't answer before you email me and say, this is the problem, this is the assignment, look at it. I won't be able to. I believe you. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that I have to look. So you have to
Yes,
email me
tonight.
what assignment. Yes, when you can.
Yes.
Yeah, what assignment it is, which problem to look at, and I will fix it for you.
Thank you.
Very good. Anything else? Other questions? Have you worked on anything? Any questions? If you have questions on the classwork that I'm returning now. If you have anything, let's start with that. Is there anything for me?
Can we do number 1 on the password?
Yes. Can you tell me which form it is? Or can you dictate f of x?
Minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 1. And v is 3x minus 6.
Very good. So this is the previous classwork. I thought I posted solutions, but actually I posted the classwork, but not the solutions.
3x minus 6.
Oh, the second one.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I will post solutions. Good. So which part of the entire thing? Because it will take us 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to do the whole thing. Which part or parts would you be interested in? I'm sorry?
What's the g of x part?
3x minus 6. So Jesse, which one would you like to?
It looks like, you know what, can I just ask if I can help them?
No, but at least let's work on one of them. So just point to me. Which one would you like to work on? So this is the ratio. So this is the ratio evaluated at 1, but I have to find it first, and then evaluate at 1. This is the function composition. F come G and G come F. So which one would you choose? Two, any two you want. Okay. So you want the sum, and you want the product, and the ratio. Okay, perfect. Good. So the definition for the sum f plus g of x, I have to write f of x plus g of x. I replace f of x by negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 1. I replace g by 3x minus 6. Is this clear so far? And then all I have to do is combine like terms. So I combine, I always identify the degree first, so I can put it in descending order. And then I add these two, and this is 9x, and this is negative 7. So this is the sum. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't copy it correctly. Thank you. Okay, then we wanted the product. So fg of x, I have to write the definition so I don't make a mistake. It's f of x multiplied by g of x. So I copy f as negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 1. It's a lot of writing, but I think it's, from the previous material. So I prefer distributing 3x and then negative 6, but you can say I'm going to distribute this to these two, and then this to these two, and then this to these two. But I prefer it this way. So it's negative 9x cubed plus 18x squared minus 3x. And then negative 6 times this is positive 18x squared. Negative 6 times this is minus 36x, and negative 6 times negative 1. Is this clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, so now again in descending order, negative 9x cubed. Now these two plus 36x squared. And now this and this, which is negative 39x, and then plus 6. This is all from, actually, we're just adding polynomials. This is all 11. So we need to refresh our memory. So that's why I'm asking you to redo these with me. And then we had the ratio, correct? That was okay. So I have to write the definition. So f over g of x equals f of x divided by g of x. I copy f as negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 1 over 3x minus 6. You're not asked to do anything else other than write that 3x minus 6 cannot be 0, which means x cannot be 2. Many of you said it cannot be plus or minus 2. I'm not sure why. It has nothing to do with this function. So the domain of the ratio is not negative infinity to negative 2, union negative 2 to 2. No, it's just not 2. So negative infinity 2, union 2 infinity. I circled when I saw that. And now we want to evaluate f over g at 1. I have the function. I plug in 1. Negative 3 times 1 plus 6 times 1 minus 1 over 3 times 1 minus 6. Negative 3 plus 6 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. So I put the negative in front. I have to. So it's negative 2/3. Is that okay? Yeah. Oh, I know it's not easy because it requires a lot of time. And I know that time is a very important commodity. I know we don't have a lot. But if we don't redo the problems we did in class, we'll always hit a wall. In my opinion, if you have a different way of studying, use it, if it works. If it doesn't work, maybe we should make a plan together. I'll be more than happy to help you. Everyone. I'm not talking about a particular person, anyone. Okay, so let's go back to what we covered last time, and please stop me anytime if you have questions. So here we looked at a problem from the book on how to find the domain. Then we looked at another one, how to find the domain. And then we started distance formula, midpoint formula, and the equation of a circle. And we developed everything from scratch. So the distance formula, we picked two ordered pairs, and we formed the right triangle, and we determined the legs, the measures of the legs, and we said, okay, how do I find the distance between A and B? And then we came up with this. The midpoint formula, the average of x coordinates and comma the average of y coordinates. I add them up and divide by 2. We pick two ordered pairs, we determine the distance and the midpoint. And we pick two more ordered pairs, we determine the distance and the midpoint. And then we looked at a circle and we said, okay, if the center is denoted by h comma k, h being its x and k being its y, we don't have it. So that's why we like to use h and k. And A is a point on the circle, and it has coordinates x comma y. Let's come up with, using the distance formula, let's come up with the equation of the circle. And we did. And we said there are three different possible questions on the equation of the circle. One possible question is, given the center and the radius, find the equation. And then graph it. Given the equation of a circle, identify the center and the radius. And graph it, if that's the requirement. And this one was the most difficult one, because we were given something, and we were told, make it look like a circle, if you can. If you can, it's a circle. If you can't, it's not a circle. And what we did was, we complete the square for x, and we complete the square with y, and we got x minus 2 squared plus this equals 49. And we said, yeah, since by comparison I can find h and k, and I can find the radius, this must be a circle. And we determined the center and the radius. Any questions? Any questions for me? Okay, and then we started polynomial and rational functions, which started chapter 3. We had looked at quadratic functions. They are given to us in two possible ways. This one, which is the whole thing, ax squared plus bx plus c. And this one is just completed the square. If you expand this, you're going to get that. So they are the same, just this one has the completed square. And then we went through 6-7 steps of graphing such a parabola. We identify the shape, if the leading coefficient is negative, maximum, positive, minimum. We found the vertex. We found the x and y intercepts if they exist. There are three possibilities. Here, the x-intercepts don't exist. Here, they are two distinct. And here, two, but the same. That's why it's tangent to the x-axis. The y-intercept, the axis of symmetry, is the vertical line passing through the vertex. The maximum value is always given by the y-coordinate of the vertex, or the minimum, if it's a minimum. And then this was the range, and we graphed the function. We did not look at the other possibility in which the function is given with a completed square. Any questions? Is there anything that you would like to go back to before we look at one more and we look at a word problem with quadratic functions? And then we look at section 3.2. Anything? Yes, please, Damon.
The screen is kind of dark tonight. You got a lamp on that thing?
I don't think it makes such a big difference, but
Well,
if,
it was-
is it better?
No, it was a little bit brighter than that, but I just know it was darker.
Not sure, but
Right.
if this works, it's fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Is it better? No?
Probably me.
I don't know if I can.
That's okay. Don't do nothing. It's fine.
Okay. Another class we do turn off, so don't get scared. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to see which one is the front. Is this better?
Now you can put it back where you had.
This?
This It's fine.
Okay.
It brightened up.
Okay. Good.
Camera be adjusted.
So anything else? Other questions for me? Anything that you worked on? Nothing? So you didn't work on anything, or you have no questions and everything is clear? Which one is it? Yes, Kelsey? Go say go.
We find the inverse function of f of x equals x minus 3 over 4.
Good. Step 1, if you remember, I replace f of x by y, so this is x minus 3 over 4. In chapter 2, we talked about interchanging, yes, and we talked about rational equations. This is nothing else but a proportion. So we cross multiply, or you can say you multiply both sides by 4, same thing. So we have 4x equals y minus 3. In order to solve for y, I will have to add 3 to both sides. So y equals 4x plus 3. And in step 4, actually, this was step 3, I only have to replace this notation by y by the notation f inverse.
You add 4 to both sides.
I'm adding 3 to both sides. I cannot add 4 because this is multiplied. I cannot break 4 times x and add 4. Is this okay?
That's it?
Yep, that's it. That's a 4-step procedure. Good, good questions. Anything else? We have anything else? Okay, in that case, let's look at the other way a quadratic function can be given to us. And here it is. Let me pick a problem. Let's say -2 x plus 4 squared minus 8. So what type of function is this? Function. What type of function? Very good. This is a quadratic function. Which base function was used to create this one? Say it again. Yes, correct. But which function? Exactly. Which one did I use to create this?
Complete the square.
Which function? Is it the square root? You already answered, but I just want you to specify. Is it the square root? Is the absolute value? Is it? So which, exactly, which is the base function? Correct. Very good. Which one? Name it.
X plus 4.
The base function is x squared, right? That's the base function. Remember the list of functions? 7 or 8 functions? The simplest possible quadratic function is x squared, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Does it open upward or does it open downward? X squared.
Down.
X squared, not this one.
Upward.
This is x squared. First transformation on x squared, please, to get this in order of operations.
Left 4.
Awesome.
Okay.
Then,
In
no,
regression.
that's a lot. That
Up 8 or down 8? No.
never, never. In order of operations. You're right. I have to multiply by -2, but I have to do it in 2 steps.
Vertical shift.
Vertical stretching by a factor of 2. Awesome. And then, now I flip.
Yes.
Good. And then,
Negative 8. Down.
down 4. Awesome. Down 8. One more time from the beginning. X squared. Stretch by a I'm sorry. X squared.
Negative 4.
Move to the left 4. Stretch by a factor of 2. Flip. And then down 8. Can anyone give us the vertex of this function? We haven't even graphed it. I only made a fool of myself with all this, with my hands all over the place. But what is the vertex?
4.
-4, comma?
Negative 8.
That's it. And we haven't even graphed the function. One more time. X squared, x plus 4 squared, 2 times x plus 4 squared, -2 times x plus 4 squared, -8. Can anyone give us the range? We haven't even graphed it. As I said, I only made a fool of myself with my arms. So I already know the vertex. Say it again.
-4, -8.
Perfect. Actually, this is step 2. And now in step 7, I already have the range. Can anyone give us the range? Careful. The range starts at the lowest y value till the largest y value. Very good. That's it. I completely agree. And look at this. We could have not done this with the other form. If the square is completed, I can do transformations, right? But with the other one, I can't. Good. So what is the shape? Number 1 is the shape. Now you can already tell me, because you already have the graph. So based on the leading coefficient, how do I know whether it opens upward or downward? Exactly. So it has a maximum. Yes. So the leading coefficient is -2. So the parabola has a max. You already gave me the vertex. 3. X-intercepts, comma, if they exist. You already have the picture of the graph in your brain. It's already there. So tell me about the x-intercepts.
There shouldn't be any, right?
Right.
That's too low.
Because the maximum is -8. None. I don't want to waste my time. Awesome. Very good. Well done. Number 4. Y-intercept. Yes.
For shape, is A equals -2 and that max, is that the answer to shape?
Yes.
Axis of symmetry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We didn't get to the axis of symmetry.
Oh, okay.
The axis of
So
symmetry
what
will
is that
follow now.
What is
5.
that based on? Sorry.
Shape. It has a maximum. It opens downward
Okay.
because the leading coefficient is negative.
Okay.
Is that better? So once I establish that the leading coefficient is negative, I know it will look like this, which means it will have a maximum.
I got you.
Better? Okay. Y-intercept.
That's -8, 4, -8.
How do I find the y-intercept? Very good. So I have to find f of 0. Let's do it together. Okay. 0 plus 4. 4 squared. 16 times -2. -32 minus 8. Awesome. So the ordered pair, that is the y-intercept, is
0, -40.
very good. Now 5 and 6 are just words. Axis of symmetry. Bless you. Is? Yes, I heard that. X equals?
-4.
That's it. And since it has a maximum or a minimum?
Maximum.
Very good. The maximum value of this function is? Very good. Is the y-coordinate of the vertex. Very good. Max value of this function is -8. Awesome. Well done. Okay, now we are ready to graph. Okay, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be -40. I start with a vertex 1, 2, 3, 4, -8. I continue with the axis of symmetry, x equals -4. And I only have 0, -40. I'm going to try to make it as symmetric as possible and not too acute at the vertex. So this is f of x, is not a perfect graph by any means, is -2 x plus 4 squared minus 8. With a graphing calculator, any questions from me before we look at the graphing calculator?
What's number 4? Is that y? Is y intercept again?
Yes, 0 comma negative 40. Is that okay? So with the graphing calculator, let's punch it in y equals. Let me know if you encounter any difficulties so I can come and help you. In y equals, I have negative 2 in parentheses x plus 4 squared, close the parenthesis, and then minus 8. I know that the standard viewing window is not going to help. Look at our graph. Our graph has to, I have to show, first of all, I don't care for the positive side here. I don't care for the positive side here. I don't really care much about this side, but I have to have at least showing at least negative 40. So the 10, 10, negative 10, 10, which is the standard viewing window, is not going to work for this function. So I go to window. Are you with me so far? Yes? Okay, go to window, please. So I want to see, I'm going to say negative 8. X maximum 4 with a scale of 1. Y minimum, I can't stop at negative 10. I'm going to say negative 60.
That's your scale. Scale.
Oh, yes. I meant 1 here. You didn't take it. Okay. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Negative 60. Y maximum, I don't care, more than 2. And with a scale of 10. And graph. And here it comes. It's coming from negative infinity, going to a maximum, starts climbing, decreasing towards the y-intercept of 0, negative 40, and continues to decrease towards negative infinity. Exactly what you gave me as the range between negative infinity and negative 8. Awesome. That's all I needed. Now I would like to look at a word problem because we didn't get the chance to look at a word problem from this section. We didn't, correct? Yes. Okay. On page I'll find it tonight, hopefully. Okay, on page 361, let's take a look at 58. Sorry about that. Okay, 58. We're given a function g of x, which is negative 0.04 x squared plus 2.1 x plus 6.1. Negative 0.04 x squared plus 2.1 x. This is 2.1. 2.1 x plus 6.1. X is the horizontal distance. X, horizontal distance in feet. And G is the height. So this is what type of function, first of all? Right. It's a quadratic function. Does it have a max or a min? Yes. It models the following action. So you looked at my marker, right? And you saw it going up. It reached the maximum. And then it went down, hitting the carpet, right? So I'm standing here. I'm throwing it up. This is the horizontal distance where it reaches the maximum. And then eventually hits the ground. I don't have the maximum. And I also don't know the distance from here to where the maximum is reached. I don't know that. I don't know how high, and I don't know from the moment, from the point I throw it up in the air, I don't know exactly what the distance is where the maximum occurs. First question, what is the maximum height? that, and then how far from its point of release does this occur? What is the maximum height and how far? What do I have to do?
Find the vertex.
I need to find the vertex. The vertex, because the function is quadratic. So part A, find the vertex. What type of form is this? Does it have the completed square or is the first form? Do I see the completed square here? No. So it's the first form. Good. How do I proceed?
Quadratic function.
How do I determine the vertex when the quadratic function is given in this shape? If it's given like this, I don't have to think. It's -4, -8.
Quadratic function.
That's negative b.
Exactly. Yes, I need to find -b over 2a. Awesome. So how do I find it? What is b? Remember one thing. That if the quadratic function is not given in descending order, I have to be very careful.
B is 2.1.
Very good. Positive 2.1. Awesome. I copy the negative, then 2.1 over
2.1, 2
Negative
times 0.4.
negative 0.08 because I have 2 times a, and a is 0.08, 0.04 times 2 is 0.08. Good. So how much is this? And by the way, this number that you are going to give me now, I would like you to tell me which one of the two measurements is. Is it this distance till the maximum, or is it the maximum value? Which one?
Distance.
Exactly. It's the horizontal distance till I see the maximum. How do I get the maximum? So what is this number, first of all?
26.5.
Measurement unit?
26.25.
Measurement unit? Thank you. Very good. Awesome. So this is indeed 26.25 feet. How do I determine the maximum height now?
So you
Exactly. Awesome. Yes. So G of 26.25. So let's do that. So I have negative 0.04 multiplied by 26.25 squared, and then plus 2.1 multiplied by 26.25, and then plus 6.1. $33.66. Measurement unit, please. Feet. So can anyone again remind us, what does 33.66 feet mean?
That's a maximum.
The maximum height. When I throw the marker up in the air, it reaches the maximum. The maximum height is 33.66, and from the position where I throw it up in the air till here, we have 26.25. Is this clear so far? Okay. Yes.
Where'd you put the 26.25?
In the function. In the function to find the y value.
Right. You put it right there.
It's right here. Negative 0.04 times 26.25 squared plus 2.1 times 26.25 plus 6.1.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay? Perfect. Good. Part B. What is the maximum horizontal distance? Maximum horizontal distance. And it hits the ground. Maximum horizontal distance. How do I determine that, and what does it mean? I lost my papers. These are 1 and 2. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Would that be just where the y value is 0?
The y value is 0, and I'm trying to determine what?
Distance?
Yes, but what is that for a function like this? How are they called?
With the endpoints?
The
X-intercepts?
X-intercepts. Very good. So that's part B. How do I find the X-intercepts for any function? I couldn't hear. Sorry.
0.
For?
Y.
Awesome. Y equals 0. Negative 0.04 x squared plus 2.1x plus 6.1 equals 0. What will be my next move? Correct, but it's not cleaned up. I refuse to solve a quadratic function with a negative leading coefficient. You can, or multiply by -1. But it's the same thing. You are correct. Very good. Only now I will use the quadratic formula. Negative b.
Yes, the square root of
2.1 plus or minus the square root of 2.1 squared minus. I should write 4 times 0.04 times negative 6.1. But since I have two negatives, I'm going to change it to positive. So 4 multiplied by 0.04 multiplied by 6.1 over 2 times a, which is 0.08. You understand why I didn't want to use, or I didn't want to have a negative leading coefficient, because it's very easy to forget to put the negative here. So that's why clean it up, simplify it before you do anything. Is this okay?
Yes. Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
What if we forget to clean it up and we use the negative sign to arrive at the same answer?
Because it's negative 4 times a times c, and since c is negative and I have a minus in front, I already put plus. Because otherwise I would have so many parentheses.
No, I know. I say if I forget to remove the negative sign.
So multiply both sides by -1, you will get the same answer.
Okay, that's it.
I just want you to pay attention because it will take you longer to worry about that negative sign. So it's up to you. Of course I accept it. You will get the same answer. Yes, of course. Okay, ready? Good. Parentheses around the numerator. Yes, Damon?
I give it 4 times 0, 0. You took a shortcut. That's a good time right there. Wait.
Oh, so this is negative b, so you have to put the equal symbol, plus or minus square, so plus 4 times 0.04, 4 times 0.04, which is a, times, multiplied.
Right.
Multiplied by 0.04, yes, and multiplied by 6.1.
What happened to the negative 4 times?
Because this is negative, so the two negatives will change into positive. And over 2a, which is 0.08. Yes, but careful, it's 0.08. Zero. Yes. So,
Oh, okay.
yes, exactly. Good. So, parentheses for the top, 2.1 plus square root, parentheses. You already know me, I'm old-fashioned. I have to put my own parentheses if the software doesn't put them. 2.1 squared plus 4 multiplied by 0.04 multiplied by 6.1, close the parenthesis, go outside, close the parenthesis, and divide by 0.08 and press enter. I got 55.3. X is 55.3 feet. Let's see the other X, because there is a second solution with second and entry. For you, it's much easier to go back and overwrite the plus into a minus, change the plus into a minus. For me, it takes much longer. And of course, I'm going to pass that and come back. I know. Okay, minus negative 2.8 feet. Any questions? Damon, are you okay?
Nah, that's okay. Don't come over.
You-
Come over here. That's okay.
You mean with the putting in the calculator?
Right. Yeah, but
So you have, yeah, everything is fine. Oh, you forgot a parenthesis or something.
Right. I forgot to bring some.
Okay, so let's clear. Let's clear the whole thing. This is a sophisticated calculator you have. So 2.1 plus square root parentheses 2.1 squared plus 4 times 0.04 times 6.1, close the parenthesis, go outside of the square root, close another parenthesis, and divide by 0.08. And then you will get that 55.3.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And if you want to do second entry, then you just go back and change the plus in front of the square root into a minus.
Okay.
And it gives you the other one.
Okay.
Thank you. So here I am standing. One x-intercept is behind me. It's negative, blah, blah, blah. And one x-intercept is in front of me right there. So from the launching site, if you want, I have 55. I was able to throw it 55.3 feet. And this is the other x-intercept, which I don't care about. So then, the maximum distance is 55.3 before it hits the ground. From what height was the shot released? Or the marker released? From what height? Say it again. Careful. That is the other x-intercept. But I have some height, right? How do I determine that? Somebody said it already.
The line of symmetry.
No, that's the vertex. That's in the vertex. I'm here. I'm not at the vertex, right? I'm here standing, throwing it up in the air. So how do I determine the height I threw it up in the air from? What does that represent for the quadratic function? Exactly. So in part C, I have to find the y-intercept. How do I find it? F of 0 or g of 0. So let's look at the function. This is our function. Very good. So it was launched or thrown up in the air from 6.1. Any questions? Any questions? This completes section 3.1. Anything for me? Okay, 3.2, polynomial functions. And you can say, but what was this one that we just graphed? Wasn't that a polynomial function? Yes, it was. But mainly, when we talk about polynomial functions, we are talking about degree 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. Higher order, higher degree polynomials. And I want to caution you on something. This section, because it's difficult to put all this in writing, it really is, has 14 pages of work. And I'm not preventing you from reading any of this, and you should. But if you follow my lead, you will be able to understand it without reading 14 pages. Okay, so that's my target. Let me look at my time here and see. Okay.